What's going on YouTube, man? It's your boy Lil Ty checking in for another video, man. Today we are reacting to killer kids reacting to life sentences. Now I ain't gonna lie. For a kid to kill a parent or something along the lines anyway, it's kind of diabolical. Let's just keep it being, guys. Before we even start, like, comment, and subscribe. I think I just hit 125. I'm gonna always say where I'm at. I appreciate y'all for every single subscribe, every single like, every single view, and however long y'all watch it. I appreciate y'all, man. Let's keep running it up. And I told y'all every single day. I know I kind of skimped out on like a day or two, but that wasn't me. That was just videos I had already planned, and YouTube wasn't agreeing with me uploading. So I'm not gonna talk y'all heads off too crazily. Let's hop into the video. Ew.
Parents have some concerns of some stuff they may have found in your room?
Yeah, I believe so.
And what would it be?
A human head and hands.
Why is
They
he
may not,
casually
but
saying
the
that
case
though?
family certainly knows how dangerous you are, right?
Well, yes, I could be considered dangerous, yes. I smile because it's funny that all the people in there have no idea who they're messing with.
I don't know, G. We already
The
started off
jury
with
found
all
the
the
defendant Carly
shenanigans.
Madison Gregg guilty of first-degree murder as charged in the indictment.
Why?
This is Carly Gregg, who is in a Mississippi court on multiple charges, including murder and attempted murder. In March 2024, 15-year-old Carly Gregg fatally shot her mother, 40-year-old schoolteacher Ashley Smiley, at their residence. Carly had been abusing marijuana, and her friends started getting worried. Concerned, one of Carly's friends reported to her mom. As a schoolteacher, Carly's mom was furious. When they got home, she went straight to Carly's room to search for the drugs. While she was searching for the drugs, the security camera in the living room captured the moment the unthinkable happened.
Oh my. So she just searching the room and didn't ask her to come show her everything.
After shooting her mom, Carly texted her friend to come over and check out what she did. Carly's plan was to get rid of her parents, so she took her mom's phone. Pretending to be her mother, she texted her 39-year-old stepfather, Heath Smiley, asking him to return home.
I ain't lie. And she know to hide the jump from the
As
camera.
Mr. Heath stepped through the door, Carly shot him. In a desperate struggle, he wrestled the gun from her and called 911. Realizing she was in big trouble, Carly and her friend fled.
Carly and the friend fled? What the hell? Why she run like this? Why they run like?
Later,
Ooh,
the
that's
officers
an
arrived
ugly
and
little
met an
run.
injured and devastated Heath. The EMTs treated him for the bullet injury and eventually wheeled him to the hospital. Carly was arrested a few hours later.
Alright, sweetie, look. Let me step out real quick.
Okay, so the real question is, I never understood why parents allowed the kids to know where their weaponry is to begin with, and even in a way that they can have access to it. Like they'll know where it's at, but they have like this lockbox that requires a passcode to get into it. It is not to say that she couldn't use any other weapon to get the job done. I'm just saying, it's like you in there searching for the marijuana or whatever, and she just casually chilling. If you and there, I don't want to say it's a difference between parenting, but it kind of sort of is. Ain't no black parent doing that, G. I'm be real. You gonna have your ass in there giving it up, cause if you're not, we gonna put belt to ass every time, G. It's just kind of crazy though. Hold on. And then she looked casual as hell in the police car. A little too casual for my liking. If I want to be her being, a little too casual. No, that's not a face of remorse, G. I ain't gonna lie. They're gonna be crying later on and then getting sentenced.
I'm gonna move over around to the front of you, okay? I'm gonna move the handcuffs around to the front of you. Okay. Alright. Alright. right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to swap your hands, okay? Yeah. Right.
During her trial, prosecutors revealed what led to the crime.
Ladies and gentlemen, you'll hear then that Carly Gregg rides in the car home with her mother from school to their house. When they get inside the house, it's only their two dogs, Ashley Smiley and Carly Gregg. Ashley then goes into Carly's room. Ashley finds 4 boxes that contain vape pens. Almost immediately,
Oh, I don't
upon
understand
Carly
people vaping
coming
either, G.
inside the
That's kind
house,
of weird.
she walks straight to her parents' bedroom. That she goes straight to her mom's side of the bed and removes a .357 Magnum from under the mattress. She
Under
keeps her
the
head around
mattress.
the kitchen to make sure that her mom hasn't come out of her bedroom. We believe the evidence will then show that she walked with that .357 Magnum behind her back, walked in to her own bedroom,
Over a vape
and
pen,
then
though, G?
fired 3 shots into her mother, killing her.
But the defense attorneys chose another angle. They claimed that Carly was also a victim.
We believe
A
the evidence
victim?
will show that there were 3 victims on
Okay, I can never understand one thing either. Now, don't get me wrong. I get it. It's their job as lawyers to argue things like this. But, G, if you know somebody did it, bro, let them just go down for it, bro. It makes no sense to stuff like that. And then think about it like this. If she done it once, she'd do it again, too. That's the crazy part. She was willing to do it to her mom, pretend like she was her mother, texting her stepdad, and then was gonna do the exact same thing to Buddy. Buddy wouldn't even known. Well, he probably would have known that she did it after the fact, but I mean, she had plenty of time to flee, and it's still kind of crazy to take your mom off this earth regardless, G. It's no respect in that, G. No coming back from something like that.
March
Drop down in the
19th.
comment section, bro. What y'all
Ashley
think about
Smiley,
that?
Heath Smiley, and Carly Gregg. That they were all 3
Ain't gonna cry.
victims.
Oh, ugly
They told the court
nigga,
that
G.
Greg suffered from mental health issues and didn't know what she was doing.
Carly had been suffering from a mental illness. That Carly was not aware on March 19th that she had a mental illness. That Carly's
She
parents
didn't
who
know.
lived with her were not aware that Carly was suffering from a mental illness. That Carly's close friends who saw her at school every day were not aware that Carly was suffering from a mental illness.
So nobody knew she was suffering from mental illness, not even her. That's the argument. Gee, I ain't gonna lie. If they don't convict her, that just go to show that the system just retarded, G. They just be doing shit.
Illness, because it's hard to look at a person and understand that they have a mental illness. It's hard to look at a
Bullshit,
person and
We
know
all know crazy when we
that they
see
have a
crazy,
mental
bro.
illness. While the events on March 19th were tragic, the events on March 19th were not intentional.
What?
Now
She
time
didn't
for
intentionally
witnesses
go
to
to the
take the
room.
stand.
She didn't
The first
intentionally go
witness was
grab the gun
911
where she knew it
operator
was.
who answered Mr.
And
Heath's
she
call.
didn't intentionally put 3 on her
First,
mama.
he said he had grazed the neck. Once during the middle of the call, he then stated that his wife was also shot dead on the floor, and continued to talk to him until deputies arrived on scene.
During the testimony, Greg became emotional.
Calm down. What's your name?
Don't be emotional. You did it.
Okay, calm down for me. Give me your name again.
I couldn't have been the stepdad in there seeing that, G. I'd have been all over that little girl.
Yes, sir. Okay, just calm down for me. We got everybody What?
And gonna cry in court, bruh. Nothing would have stopped me from being over there on top of girl, G. Pause. Fake ass tears, bro. Shit like they really be pissing me off, G.
The first responding officer also took the stand, and his body cam footage was shown in court.
I ain't lie, them tears low key fake from the husband, not the daughter, though, G.
Where's your wife at, buddy? Where's your wife at? On the floor in that room. She where?
Put your hands on the face. Uncover your face.
Sheriff's office!
No, relive it. Because you finna relive it for the rest of your life, baby girl. You shouldn't have done it.
That's I need medical here. She ran into the backyard. I tried to follow her. She shot me. I went in the back door. She tried to shoot me. What's her name, bud? Carly Gregg. Carly Gregg? How old is she? 14. She'll be 15 next month.
The defense insisted that Carly had a mental health crisis and should not be found guilty.
She doesn't know what was going on at that time.
So I never understand one thing as well. If they're not gonna be found guilty for what they did, what ends up happening to them? Do they just get out for free? It's like free kill or something, or how does that work? If y'all know how that works, drop it down in the comment section down below, G.
We're asking you to find her not guilty by reason of insanity.
However, the prosecution maintained that her actions were not that of a mentally ill person.
I put 3 in my mom, and I got 3 more waiting for my stepdad.
Exactly,
You think
G.
that sounds like an insane person?
No.
It took the jury a few hours to reach a verdict.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Carly Madison Gregg, guilty of first-degree
Exactly.
murder.
Send that little bitch to jail, G. Niggas like that don't need to be out here killing their parents, G.
The possibility of
over a baby.
However crazy Gregg's actions were,
nigga need to be buried under the joint. I don't even.
17-year-old Gavin Ramsey.
He murdered her, and he videoed her and abused her and disrobed her and used jelly.
Jelly? Brother. Excuse me. Brother, what the hell are you doing with jelly? we gonna hold on.
In a closet and had time to search and ransack the house and find the wallet.
He's facing murder charges in Medina.
That looked like
Ohio.
a nigga that killed
On
somebody. Let's be
April
real.
6th, 2018,
He looked like that type
Ramsey
of nigga.
snuck into the house of his 98-year-old neighbor, Margaret Douglas, strangled her, and did
98
inappropriate
years
things to her
old?
body. He then recorded the whole crime on his phone, took
Stupid.
pictures, stuffed Margaret's body in her closet, and went home. 3 days later,
dumb.
a family member of Margaret called 911 after they did not hear from her.
Roger, please.
Yes, this is Howard Leisure. My aunt lives on Portage Street. A friend of ours stopped over there yesterday to check on her, and she was nowhere to be found.
Okay.
He says papers were on the porch for the last 3 days.
What's her name?
Margaret Douglas. We don't know where she's at. She's 98 years old.
Did she live there by herself?
She lives there by herself, yeah. And she never
How's
lost
she
her
that
mind.
old and living by herself? She must have been really able. That's a she's gracefully aging. I'm not gonna lie.
They found her in the closet with bruises all over her head and face. The police also found a key piece of evidence, a plastic glove left at the back of the house. Because Margaret's wallet was missing, police first assumed that it was a burglary gone wrong. So they began questioning family members and friends.
You didn't come by on Thursday or Friday, not Sunday.
No, not Sunday.
And nobody else didn't, have any problems with anybody that. Not that I know. She was. Margaret Boston knows. That's why it's so just horrid.
Yeah, I'm just yawning. Oh my God.
However, when the DNA from the glove didn't match any of them, the officers ruled them out. While the investigation was still going on, police got a report of a carjacking in the neighborhood. They traced
Imagine
the theft to a man
getting
named
away
Zachary.
with something like that.
Zachary was a petty thief already known to the police.
And then getting caught up in
Questioned,
something else
he
entirely
revealed that his
different
partner in crime was none other
that
than
may
Ramsey.
link you up
The
to
police then
another
brought Ramsey
what you
for
actually
questioning
did.
about the carjacking.
Just the act of him getting the payback, I guess, I don't know, that's like it's karma, really. Like if you're gonna do that, then I'm gonna rob you.
That's upsetting you so much.
Consequences.
Is there something else you need to tell us? You've already gotten yourself in trouble, so.
I know, and I don't know, but
This nigga suck at the theatrics though, G.
okay, it was me. I'm gonna be honest about it.
Before the officers let him go, they got permission from his mom to check his phone.
Ooh.
The officers examined his phone.
Oh, so his mom
shocked to
or
see
the
the
reason why he
pictures
got
and
caught? Well,
videos
he
of
shouldn't have got
Margaret's
caught
body
anyway. That was God's
and
plan.
recordings of everything he did. They brought him back into the interrogation room. Initially, he denied everything.
There was no reason that we would find your DNA inside her house because we swabbed the hell out of that house.
You should.
When the officers now told him that they had gone through his phone, he broke down and admitted to the murder.
Were you in her house for a little while before you woke her up?
I mean, I came
Dink.
up on the porch.
Gee, you caught at this point, just tell the
You
truth.
know what I was gonna do.
You didn't know what you were gonna do.
Everything. I don't know, I felt like going into the house. It's like the biggest adrenaline rush I could get.
He confessed details of what he did.
By the time I even realized what I was doing, it was too late to stop.
It was too late to stop. She's older. She probably wouldn't remember your face.
Adrenaline and shock at the same time. So like,
Okay, that makes no sense to me though. So adrenaline going woo woo, and you couldn't stop. She's older. It's not to say necessarily her mind was gone, but depending on how you left her, she probably would have been in shock. She probably would have called somebody, but if you didn't leave, they couldn't find no DNA in the crib. You would have got off, which means you really could have stopped. The young folks, the young generation is so fucked up, G. What possesses y'all to do things like this, though, G? They innocent folks minding their business, old folks specifically. It's cool when y'all do it to each other, G. Stick to y'all selves, though. Why y'all gotta branch out and mess with folks that ain't got nothing to do with nothing? This lady 98 years old and you play with the lady sexually and things of that nature. No sense. You raped a 98-year-old, G.
Police had to inform the devastated parents of the evidence they had.
I want to talk to you a little bit about what's on the phone. All the phone contained images of Margaret before and after her death, as well as videos of your son with her.
98-year-old lady, G. Young man. And the woman like, oh my God, really? Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Ramsey was charged as an adult. In court,
As he should.
The prosecution was
the
determined
hell?
to get him behind bars.
Gavin Ramsey entered that home. He did it with precision. Not only did he do it with precision, Your Honor, he did it with a time clock. Because even though he stalked her, and even though he murdered her, and he videoed her, and abused her, and disrobed her, and used jelly.
Okay, I'm not understanding the jelly situation, G. If y'all understand what's up with the jelly thing, drop down in the comment section down below, because what the hell is he talking about the jelly? I'm not comprehending that one.
Ransack the house and find the wallet. He was always mindful of the time, Your Honor. Because by his own statement, he knew he had to be home before his parents woke up.
Although Ramsey was rational enough to check the time, the defense argued that he had mental health issues and should be treated, not
mental health
Children
issues.
are constitutionally and developmentally different from adults. And so his age is a factor that you must consider.
Oh, wrinkly
Why
bitch
is
over here
that
defending
significant?
shit like this, G.
Because Gavin is a 17-year-old
What if that was her
boy,
grandma
can
and Buddy
engage
did
in
that to her?
treatment. He can engage in programming that is available through the
All
Department
money
of
ain't good money,
Rehabilitation
bro.
and Correction. What have we heard from the lay minister who's been working with him? That Gavin is seeking out change. Gavin is seeking the Lord.
Now the
Gavin
nigga seeking the Lord and
has already
change, G.
expressed his desires to engage in educational programming. Children who are going to be sentenced to life without the eligibility of parole, that should be saved for the worst offenders. Children who
Is this not a worst offender situation, though, G? She was 98 years old. The man robbed her, played with her body before she was dead. How can you sit here and say that? I don't. How can lawyers do this, G? They ruthless, G.
who are irreparably corrupt or broken, who cannot be saved. There has been nothing presented by the psychiatric evidence to indicate that this young man is not capable of being saved.
Ramsey was found
No,
guilty,
he can't
but
be
before
saved.
he was
Can't.
sentenced, Margaret's family
She was 98 years old, G.
I find him to be pathetic and a coward and someone that preyed on the most vulnerable person that he could find
Exactly, G.
and attack her in
A
her most
98-year-old
vulnerable
is the
moment.
equivalent of
He
a
broke into her
child, a
house,
baby, G.
watched her sleeping, and took videos of her sleeping. He then held her against her will, hit her, and strangled her. And I believe that he planned to kill numerous people
Oh my
and
God.
use my aunt as a warm-up, so to speak, for those other killings.
He pointed out how important she was to them and the community.
She loved being alive. She often talked that she just couldn't.
Okay, y'all ain't gotta juice the story up even more, G.
Mom
He
also
ain't-
took the stand. She blamed herself for her son's actions.
Exactly, because you should have known what your kid was doing.
That my decision wasn't the ultimate cause of all this.
It was. I think you should go down with him, honestly, since you want to get up there and
No,
say it.
that's not enough. You can't undo their heartache. You can't undo our heartache.
But insisted that her son was a good child who took the
Good
wrong
child.
part.
He was the only one that was in it. It wasn't a part.
Passionate,
He was the whole story.
and this thing that we're sitting here discussing is not who my son is. I don't care how much you want to pluck out evil facts. That's not my son.
Ramsey also apologized for his actions.
Nigga wrote it out.
I wrote this down because I knew I wouldn't know what to say on the spot. I don't know how to explain why all this happened.
Nah. He need to go meet Big Timothy. Big man in that junk being a little girlfriend. That's what he needs, G. I ain't gonna lie. Bend over, cupcake. Rub this across your lip.
And I would take it back in a heartbeat if I could. I feel terrible for what I've done. And I would never do anything like that again.
We know. You ain't gonna get the
I'm so
chance
sorry
to,
for what
brother.
I did. I constantly live in regret and shame because of it. I wish I had the words to express how sorry I really am.
Sorry don't fix this, big brother.
In the end,
Just fix this
Ramsey
at
was
all.
sentenced to life without parole.
Yikes.
However, just when you thought you'd seen it all, another convict surpasses Ramsey's wild actions.
Okay, so I don't want to make these videos too long, and we only 17 minutes into it, and I'm not gonna do the whole 54 minutes. So I'm gonna part 2 this. This gonna be part 1, and this may take 3. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, but that is gonna be the end of this video right here specifically. I ain't gonna throw too much in there. I might just make 2 parts, cause this is getting juicy though. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's kind of crazy to hear about that last story though. 98 years old. You might have said you did that to a baby, a little infant that just came out. Gee, what's the difference? In my opinion, these folks definitely deserve his life. And to apologize, G, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. You get nothing out of apologizing, G. Nothing. And a sorry don't fix what you just did to that lady like that. And then for the first girl, doing it to her mama like that, and then was finna do the same thing to her stepdad. And then I guess the question I have is, what happened to the friend that ran away too? Talking about some, come see what I did. Buddy need to be going down with her too. He might not deserve life, but Buddy definitely deserves some time. I don't care. No, it's no sympathy for children, G, because that's the card they always end up pulling. They young, they kids. They made a mistake. Look, well, your mistake took somebody else up out of here, and that's just the bottom line. But like I said, drop down in the comment section down below what y'all think, bro. So, like I say, like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I just want to thank y'all for tuning in, man. Peace.
Everything going, I act a fool when I go and perform, but I'm trying.